Hello, today is Saturday, August 8th, 2026. Here is your daily signal. According to Bloomberg, oil prices have dropped for a third consecutive day on signs of progress toward a deal to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, a key global shipping route for crude exports. The strait has been largely closed for months amid escalating U.S.-Iran tensions and regional instability, but a UN-backed initiative, with support from Oman, is aiming to restore stability and resume normal shipping flows. Axios reports that the United States, Iran, and Oman are nearing an interim accord, with Washington targeting an announcement later this week, while Fortune gained exclusive access to the UN-backed plan seeking to restart vital ship traffic through the strait. With roughly one-third of all seaborne crude passing through the strait annually, major oil companies like Saudi Aramco, ExxonMobil, and BP have vested interests in resuming passage, as regional maritime authorities and insurance firms monitor developments closely. Near-term oil prices may stabilize or fall further if a deal is reached, potentially reversing recent price volatility, and global supply chains could normalize rapidly, especially for energy-dependent industries. Medium-term consequences may include improved regional diplomatic relations through multilateral cooperation, with shipping insurance premiums expected to drop, lowering operational costs for global trade. Next, on to the escalating heat waves and water scarcity in Europe. Fortune reports that unprecedented heat and drought conditions in France, Greece, and the United Kingdom have led to emergency fire operations, several operator deaths, and thousands evacuated. This summer's extreme temperatures and water shortages are also exposing critical vulnerabilities, such as record low water levels in the Danube River, revealing dozens of sunken WW2 German ships and causing governments across Europe to coordinate electricity shortage plans. Countries throughout Europe are actively managing emergency responses, and heritage authorities watch over historical sites now exposed by declining rivers. Utility companies are bracing for power shortages as rivers used for cooling and hydropower continue to shrink, and emergency fire teams remain on the front lines under intense risk. Near-term, disruptions to power supply, further evacuations, and loss of life among emergency responders are significant risks, while historical sites face damage or unauthorized access. Looking forward, stricter water usage regulations, greater investment in climate adaptation, and a stronger focus on energy resilience are likely, with hydropower and cooling systems becoming increasingly compromised by diminished river flows. Now to corporate earnings. SpaceX's Q2 2026 financial results. Next Big Future reports that SpaceX posted $7.8 billion in revenue for the quarter, a full $1 billion above most analyst expectations, which had projected around $6.8 billion. SpaceX also achieved positive EBITDA in Q2, reflecting ongoing operational efficiency. Share performance was initially positive but later declined following the financial announcement. Elon Musk, as SpaceX's CEO, highlighted the strong performance, while financial analysts from Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs noted that the results may prompt revisions to future projections. SpaceX shareholders and institutional investors are watching closely as the company continues to outperform earlier forecasts. Near-term, investor sentiment may be mixed due to the share price drop despite robust revenue, but medium-term, sustained positive EBITDA could support new capital raising and company expansion, with competitors and industry observers likely recalibrating their expectations. Future analyst models may shift upward to account for SpaceX's continued revenue growth, reinforcing its leadership in the space industry. Now, onto the markets. International markets showed modest gains, led by Germany's EWD jumping 7.5% month-over-month and France's EWQ advancing 6.6%. United Kingdom, Italy, and Spain all edged higher, with Italy's EWI rising 5.4%. Australia slipped slightly, with EWO down 0.6%, while China large cap FXI climbed over 8% for the month and Japan's EWJ surged 4.7%. Africa's AFK rose sharply, up 10.4% for the month, marking the strongest move among regions. Indonesia's IDX delivered a notable 12.5% monthly gain. In commodities, gold GLD and silver SLV both posted solid monthly gains, up 6.4% and 8.8% respectively, while U.S. oil USO dipped 0.7% on the day but increased 5.1% over the month, and uranium URA jumped 7.8%. Favorites were mixed. Adobe soared 20% for the month, Nvidia, NVDA, and Microsoft MSFT saw strong advances. AMD retreated 1.2% on the day. In gainers and losers, Yunji Inc. YJ rallied 123% and Jin Medical International Zgil climbed 120%, while Paramount Global Para plunged 84% and TP fell 83% today. Sectors were mostly positive, with the S&P 500 SPY rising 3.7% for the month and semiconductor stocks gaining 2% on the day. That's it for today. You can find more news and details on our website. Goodbye.